G'day. In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about every single team. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's start at the bottom with MoneyGram Haas F1 team based in Kannapolis, USA. Team principal, Ayo Komatsu, in his first year, stepping up after Gunther Steiner's contract was not renewed in December last year. Their technical chief is Andrea De Zordo. Their major sponsor, MoneyGram. Their two drivers, Nico Hulkenberg from Germany, born August 19, 1987. He lives in Monaco, joined the team in 2022 and is contracted until the end of 2024. And Nico's race engineer, well, that would be Gary Gannon. His teammate is Kevin Magnussen from Denmark, born 5 October 1992, joined the team in 2014, but sat out 2021. He's contracted until the end of 2024. And Kevin's race engineer, Mark Slade. Who were their reserve drivers? Well, that would be Pietro Fittipaldi and Oliver Bearman. Next up, Stake F1 team Kick Sauber, based in Hinwil, Switzerland, was previously Alfa Romeo, prior to that, Sauber Racing. Their team principal is this man, Alessandro Bravi. The technical chief is James Key, and their major sponsor is Stake, a gambling company. Their two drivers, Zhou Guanyu from China, born 30 May 1999, joined the team in 2022 and is contracted until the end of 24. His race engineer is Jorn Becker. Valtteri Bottas is the other driver for Stake. He heralds from Finland, lives in Monaco, born 28 August 1989, joined Alfa Romeo in 2022 from Mercedes and is contracted until the end of 2024 with Stake F1 team Kick Sauber, previously Alfa Romeo, and before that Sauber. His race engineer, Alex Chan. And Stake's reserve drivers, they have two, Théo Pourchaire and Zane Maloney. Next up, Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. This team's based in Faenza in Italy, one of two teams out of Italy. Team principal is Laurent Mekies, previously with Ferrari and prior to that the FIA. Technical chief is Jody Eggington and their major sponsor is, of course, Visa Cash App. Their two drivers, Yuki Tsunoda from Japan, born 11 May 2000, joined AlphaTauri in 2021 and is contracted until the end of this season. His race engineer is Mattia Spini. His teammate is Daniel Ricciardo from Australia, born July 1, 1989, not too far from where I live here in Lancelin, Western Australia. Daniel has driven for 6 F1 teams since entering the sport in 2011. He joined AlphaTauri midway through 2023, broke his left hand in Zandvoort and had to sit out a number of races before returning to the team and is contracted until the end of 2024. His race engineer is Pierre Hamlin. And the reserve driver for VCARB is Liam Lawson. Now, a reminder too that if you are after an amazing gift for someone, go and have a look at my signed prints by drivers and legendary F1 people like Jackie Stewart. Next up, Williams Racing. They're based in Grove in the UK. Team principal is James Vowles, previously strategy director at Mercedes. I rate him as the most eloquent speaker in press conferences, a real class act. The technical chief is Pat Fry and their major sponsor, which is new for this year, Komatsu. Their two drivers, Alex Albon, Thai British, born 23 March 1996, joined the team in 2022 and is contracted now until the end of 2025. His race engineer is James Irwin. Alex's teammate is Logan Sargent. He's the only American driver in the 20-man field. He was born on New Year's Eve in 2000, joined Williams in 2023 and is contracted until the end of the year. And his race engineer is Gaetan Jago. And who are the official Williams reserve drivers? Well, they don't have an official driver, but they have access to Mercedes reserve drivers, and I'll get to them in just a moment. Next up is Alpine, and at the time of recording this video, they are sitting very squarely at the bottom of the championship ladder. Their team principal is Bruno Famin. They are based out of Enstone in the UK. Their technical chief is Matt Harmon, and their major sponsor, BWT. Their two drivers, Pierre Jean-Jacques Gasly from France, was born on 7 Feb 1996. He joined Alpine in 2023 and is contracted until the end of this season. His race engineer, Carol Luz. The second driver for the team is Frenchman Esteban Ocon, born 17 September 1996. He joined Alpine in 2020 and is contracted, like Pierre, until the end of this season. His race engineer is Josh Peckett and their reserve driver is Australian Jack Doohan. 5 to go, and we'll look now at Aston Martin Aramco F1 team based in Silverstone, UK. Their team principal is Mike Crack. Their major shareholder is Lawrence Stroll, father of one of their drivers. The technical chief is Dan Fellows. The major sponsor is Aramco, the oil producer out of Saudi Arabia. Their headline driver, Fernando Alonso from Spain, born 29 July 1981. He's the oldest driver in the field. He joined them in 2023 and is contracted until the end of this year. His race engineer, Chris Cronin. And Fernando's teammate is Lance Stroll, born 29 October 1988. He joined them in 2021, but it's unclear when his contract expires. But his race engineer is Ben Michel. And the reserve driver? That would be Brazilian driver Felipe Drugovich. Finishing fourth in the championship last year was McLaren F1 team based in Woking in the UK. Team principal is Andrea Stella, although the CEO, Zak Brown, is probably more high profile. Did you know he won a good whack of money on the US game show?
Zach claims to be 13 years old. Is that true?
That's me.
The team's major sponsors are OKX, Chrome and Android. The technical chiefs, Peter Podremo and Rob Marshall. Their two drivers, both bright young stars, British-Belgian driver Lando Norris, born on the 13th of November 1999. He joined the team in 2019 and is contracted until the end of 2026. And Lando's race engineer is Will Joseph. His teammate is fellow Australian Oscar Piastri, born 6th of April 2001, joined McLaren last year in 2023 and is contracted until the end of 26. And his race engineer is Tom Stallard. The team has two reserve drivers, Pato O'Ward and Rio Hirakawa. Now to the top three with Scuderia Ferrari, based in Maranello, Italy. I'll be there in a couple of months having a tour through their premises. Quite excited. Team principal is Fred Vasseur, who joined the team from Sauber in 2023. He's French. Their technical chiefs are both Enrico Cardelet and Enrico Gualtieri. Major sponsors, and there are a few, Shell, Santander, Puma, and Australian gaming company VGW Play. Their two drivers for 2024 are Charles Leclerc from Monaco, born 16 October 1997, joined Ferrari in 2019 and is contracted for some years. That's about all the detail that we have at the moment. It's secret squirrel stuff. And his race engineer, Javier Marcos. Charles' teammate is Carlos Sainz, who joined the team in 2021, born September 1, 1994, but he will leave the team at the end of 24, with Lewis Hamilton making the move to take his seat. And Carlos's race engineer is Riccardo Adami. Ferrari has the most reserve drivers in Oliver Bearman, who raced recently in Saudi Arabia for the Il Carlos Sainz, Antonio Giovinazzi and Robert Schwartzman. Moving on to Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 team based in Brackley, England. Team principal is Toto Wolff. He started there in 2013. Technical chief is James Allison, and their major sponsor is Malaysian oil company Petronas. Their two drivers, the legendary Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. He was born on the 7th of January 1985, joined in 2013, but will leave for Ferrari at the end of this year. His teammate is George Russell, hails from the UK, born 15 Feb 1998, and his first season was 2022. He's contracted until the end of 2025. Lewis's race engineer, Pete Bonington. George Russell's race engineer, Riccardo Mosconi. And who are their reserve drivers? Mick Schumacher and Frederick Vesti. And that brings us to the number one team in the Formula One competition in 2024. It is Oracle Red Bull Racing, owned by Red Bull GmbH out of Austria, but based in Milton Keynes, England. Team principal is Christian Horner, started in 2005, and at the time he was the youngest team principal that the sport had ever seen, aged just 31. Their major sponsor is Oracle. Their two drivers, the invincible Max Verstappen from the Netherlands, he's 26 years old, joined Red Bull in 2016, contracted until the end of 2028. And his teammate is 34-year-old Mexican driver from Guadalajara, Sergio Perez, better known as Checo, who joined in 2021 and is contracted until the year's end. Max's race engineer is Gianpiero Lambiase, and Sergio's Hugh Bird. And Red Bull's reserve driver, well, it's Liam Lawson, who's also the VCARB reserve driver. And before I leave you, let me introduce you to the press officers for the 10 F1 teams, starting with Red Bull. This is Paul Smith, and this is Alice Hedworth. Mercedes is headed up by Bradley Lord, along with Rosea Herrero Venegas. Ferrari, Silvia Hoffer-Frangipani has been there a while. Charles Leclerc is looked after by Mia Jasic, and Pedro Cebrian looks after Carlos. At McLaren, head of comms is Sophie Ogg, At Aston Martin, you'll see Will Hings, Michael Clayton and Yves Morel. Alpine, James Lloyd is your man there. At VCARB, Fabiana Valenti heads up the media department. At Williams, Rebecca Banks and Dominic Hayer-Wright. Standing next to stake drivers, you'll see Will Panissi and Elena Ravelli. And at the far end of the paddock, Stuart Morrison is the head of PR at Haas and is joined by Jessica Borrell. There's a crash course on every one of the 10 F1 teams. Now, before you leave me, I'll ask you one favour. Please hit the subscribe button and the like if you've liked this video. Head to kimellman.com if you want to order one of my sensational driver's signed prints. And remember that Sir Jackie print has dropped recently and you'll want one of those. And for a whole lot of other content, head across here and have a look at these. Thanks for watching and stay passionate. He's not 20. Logan Sargent's not.